Ladies and gentlemen, may we all rise and honor the bride. This is a very special occasion in joining Laura and Matt in the union of marriage. And who gives his bride to be?
Her uncle.
Thank you, sir. Matthew? About the two of you side by side. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, Laura and Matt, the two of you have each had separate paths that led you to this very moment. And that's what the unity candle later on in the ceremony will represent. Your two individual lives now becoming one through marriage. And throughout your journey, if there's a few things that I hope would carry along its way with the two of you, it would be that for you both to always be willing, from the heart, to listen, learn, and to love. And by that I simply mean to have the ability to listen to one another, what it is that they have to offer, and what makes them feel whole, complete, and part of this relationship. Because after all, they just may be the voice of reason. And secondly, would be the ability to learn. Always be willing to learn whatever it takes to help the other fulfill every desire, every wish, every dream, and goal that they may have. And lastly, but most importantly, is the ability to love. To love one another unconditionally, which means no strings attached. It's an ongoing love. And this is the type of love that I hope the two of you would wish to express with one another each and every day. Keeping in mind, Matt, that Laura's happiness will always be far more important than your own. And also, Laura, that Matt's happiness would always be more important than yours as well. Because with that in your minds and tucked into your hearts, I have no doubt that your lives together will be everything that you want it to be. So with that said, Matt, I'll ask you first. With your presence here today, alongside Laura, do you take her as your wife in promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting her always, allowing nothing or no one to come between the two of you? Do you take her as your wife?
I do.
Now, Laura, I'll ask you the same. With your presence here today, alongside Matt, do you take him as your husband in promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting him always, allowing nothing or no one to come between the two of you? Do you take him as your husband?
I do.
Thank you. If I could have you bouquet, please. And lastly, you two turn and face each other and hold each other's hands. Now, as the two of you look into each other's eyes, you will see the very reason why you are here today, proving that at this moment, there is no one more important than who stands before you. So, Matt, I'll have you go first in repeating your vows. I, Matt, take you, Laura,
I, Matt, take you, Laura,
to be my wife.
to be my wife.
I will always be there for you,
I'll always be there for you,
through good times and bad times,
for good times and bad times,
whether we are rich or poor,
for rich or poor,
in sickness and in health,
for sickness and in health,
through laughter and tears.
for laughter and tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Thank you, sir. Now, Laura, if you look into Matt's eyes, I'll have you repeat your vows. I, Laura, take you, Matt,
I, Laura, take you, Matt,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I will always stand beside you,
I will always stand beside you
through success or misfortune,
through success and misfortune,
and through the joys and sorrows of life,
and through the joys and sorrows of life,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
through laughter and tears.
through laughter and tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Thank you. Now, the rings that the two of you will be exchanging, they're not only tokens, but symbols of the very love and devotion that the two of you are expressing here today. And my hope is that in each and every day, the two of you wearing those rings, may they constantly remind you of that promise and pledge that you have just made to one another. And in time, the rings may lose beauty, but I hope that the two of you would not only value, but take honor in wearing those rings for what they truly represent. And through your friends and family, the beauty will shine through you both. And the two of you will be a wonderful example for all. So at this time, I'll ask for Laura's ring to be presented to Matt. And placing it onto her ring finger, if you could please repeat, with this ring,
With this ring,
I seal my promise
I seal my promise
to be your faithful and loving husband.
to be your faithful and loving husband,
And I feel so honored
and I feel so honored
to call you my wife.
to call you my wife.
Thank you, sir. If I could have Matt's ring be presented to Laura. And placing it upon his ring finger, if you could please repeat. Perfect. That's the one. With this ring,
With this ring,
I seal my promise
I seal my promise
to be your faithful and loving wife.
to be your faithful and loving wife,
And I feel so honored
and I feel so honored
to call you my husband.
to call you my husband.
Thank you. As long as it's snug, it's going to stay there, right?
Oh, it's
And if I could ask for the two of you to step over to the unity candle. And as I mentioned earlier, the two of you had each had your separate paths that led you to this point, and the individually lit tapers are representing your individual lives. And in lighting the center candle, you will not only be uniting yourselves, but that of your families as well. So if I could have the two of you take a hold of your individual taper and light the center candle at the same time, which is also symbolizing the creation of a new journey with new memories. Once it's lit, if I could ask for the two of you to turn and blow out your individual taper. Perfect. And I'll invite you guys back. Now, Matt and Laura, if you love someone, you'll be loyal to them no matter what the cost. You will always stand beside them. You will always love and trust them. And you will stand your ground in defending them no matter what. Now, this is a short saying that I like to leave with the two of you. And it simply says, don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. But walk beside me as a friend. Because after all, throughout your journey, that is what the two of you will be constantly building, is a deeper, richer, stronger friendship built upon the foundation, your lovely relationship that the two of you already have. And I'd also hope that the two of you would not only love each other for who they are, but for what they are also helping to make of you. So the 22nd of October, a day that will now mark your anniversary, in the presence of friends and family as witnesses, the two of you have showed your intentions by the exchanging of your vows and the exchanging of your rings. Therefore, with the power vested in me by the state of Nevada, it is my honor and my privilege to now be able to pronounce you as husband and wife. Matt, you may now kiss your wife, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, they will now have the first dance.
Anything about dancing?
No dance then?
No dance for you. I can agree with you for that.
I can have the two of you turn and face your guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Wayarda, the newlyweds.